Well, this is another suitcase now that has been recovered from Mithi River. This is in Mumbai. A limb and an arm that has been recovered from the suitcase. These are breaking inputs of another set of body parts that have been recovered in a suitcase from Mithi River in Mumbai. We'll get in further details here on this in just a bit, but it's important to note this is a recovery that's coming in very close on the heels of a case of a suitcase having been recovered and the police just having recently cracked the case of a murder. Our correspondent Santhya with those details on what more is known with respect to this recovery here at Mithi River. Yes, Santhya, please go ahead.
See, Seher, this recovery was made only today afternoon, and as far as this suitcase is concerned, this is a maroon color suitcase which was recovered from the BKC side of Mithi River, and when the suitcase was opened, one limb and one arm was found in the suitcase. So now, the more the police is interrogating the accused, the more details are coming. There are certain changes as well from the initial statement of the victim, of the accused here, Seher. So initially, what the accused said that how there were like total 4 bags, and one was a suitcase, and other 3 were sack bags. But now she has said that now there's a clarification in that, the change in that how there were actually 2 suitcases only. What the accused did, they first placed somebody in one of the suitcases, took that suitcase to the river, emptied it in the river at night, and then they brought the same suitcase back and filled it again, but this time they dumped the entire suitcase. So as of now, what police are looking for is the torso and the head of the victim here, because when the body was being chopped, the accused, they chopped off the arms. So the torso and the head is connected, and that's that one body part they are looking for, because that is packed in a sack bag, and that is also wrapped in bubble paper, bubble sheets, and plastic sheets. But as far as the first suitcase was concerned, which was emptied in the river, of course, that is going to be extremely difficult for the police to recover. But as of now, 2 suitcases are recovered by police, and police is looking for torso and the head.
Okay. All right, so this is connected to the same case and these are parts of the same body of the victim there. Santhya, many thanks for getting us that confirmation. This continues to remain the sensational suitcase murder case here, and the Mumbai police has managed to crack the case where the victim's body was chopped in different parts and dumped in different suitcases. Now the second suitcase is just recovered. The first suitcase, which was recovered at Mahim Beach last week, primarily having identified the clothes that the victim was wearing, the body parts of which were found. Shockingly, the man has been identified now, Binet Rubello. He was allegedly killed by his adopted daughter and her minor boyfriend. Our correspondent Santhya has been getting us further details on how this entire plot was hatched.
Accused teenager, the girl, has given a detailed statement to Crime Branch, and in that statement she has given an account that how the entire murder conspiracy was hatched and how it was executed. So she says that her friend, the teenager boy here, the minor boy here, was the one who provoked her to kill Rebello, and on 26th of November, all 3 of these people, both the accused and the victim, they got into a heated argument where the girl and the boy, they were confronting Rebello to stop sexually exploiting the girl here, and in that heated argument, the girl, she hit Rebello with on his head, and when he became slightly unconscious at that time, both the accused, they spread pesticide on his mouth so that he became unconscious, and after that the girl stabbed him with a knife 3-4 times, and once he was dead, they left the body. This happened on 26th of November, wherein they left the body there and went on the first floor of the house. It was only on 27th of November they started chopping the body. Now, as far as that goes, the girl says that she had seen in chicken shops that how a hot knife is used to chop the meat. That's exactly why the boy, he started heating 2-3 knives, and with the help of those knives, the girl, the 19-year-old accused girl here, she started chopping the body, and the body was chopped into 8 parts, and then they started packing up the body. They packed the body parts in total four bags. One was an American Tourister bag and three other were sack bags. It was the torso and the head which was this was wrapped by these accused in plastic sheets and bubble wraps into 6 layers, and they put the body parts and they disposed these body parts one by one. In first lot they took 3 bags, and it was on the second day they took the fourth bag in an auto rickshaw, and then they dumped those bags, disposed them in the Mithi river.
All right, that's our correspondent Santya. Also our colleague Neha Kulkarni, having spoken to an eyewitness to this case who first spotted the suitcase at the Mahim beach. This is what he said.
Let's speak to the resident here who was there when that body was found. Arfan, अगर आप बता सकते हैं कि उस दिन क्या आपने देखा और पुलिस कब आई?
पुलिस है ना मैडम, कॉल करते साथ ही 5 से 10 मिनट में पुलिस आ गई। आने के बाद में जब पुलिस आने के बाद में जब बैग थोड़ा पानी में से जब निकाले ना, तो उसमें एक हाथ, एक पैर और कुछ कपड़े रखे हुए थे और एक काली थैली के अंदर कुछ अलग पार्ट्स रखे हुए थे उनके। तो खोलने के बाद में बास आई तो हम लोग भी यहाँ से फटाफट हट गए। हटने के बाद में फिर पुलिस वाले लोग यहाँ से बैग वगैरह सब लेके चले गए ऊपर।
किस तरह से थी ये बॉडी और आपको कैसे समझा कि ऐसा कुछ बॉडी आया है?
नहीं मैडम, वो पपली आई ना, आने के बाद में फिर हम लोग भी देखे घर पे से आने के बाद में। जब आके देखे ना तो उसमें एक हाथ, एक पैर वगैरह ऐसा कुछ, ऐसा पैर ऐसा बैग के थोड़ा भारी दिख रहा था पैर। तो देखने के बाद में सब उसमें से गंदी स्मेल आने के बाद में फिर पूरी पब्लिक भी यहाँ से हटने लगी। फिर पुलिस वाले सबको हटाए कि बोले हटो बोले। फिर उसके बाद में हम लोग भी ऐसे यहाँ से घर पे निकल गए।
This is regarding Shiv Sena MLA Aditya Thackeray having sought clarity as far as the Citizenship Amendment Bill is concerned. The MLA in his tweet has said that if the centre didn't answer queries on the bill, then the Sena won't support it in the Rajya Sabha. This is the Shiv Sena now, an important leader of the Shiv Sena, making it very clear that interestingly, despite the Shiv Sena having voted for the bill yesterday in the Lok Sabha, they're uncertain about this in the Rajya Sabha. We have with us our Deputy News Editor Mayuresh getting us those details. Mayuresh, is the Shiv Sena questioning the central government on this far too late in the day? They have already voted for it in the Lok Sabha.
In the Lok Sabha, but when we asked this question to Mr. Uddhav Thackeray, the CM of Maharashtra, that time he clearly said that Shiv Sena leaders have asked a few questions in the Lok Sabha. Amit Shah yesterday gave most of the answers of all the leaders, but he didn't answer the questions which were raised by the by Shiv Sena MPs, and that's why Shiv Sena has decided unless Amit Shah or anyone from the government gives answer of Shiv Sena's question, they will not support this bill in Rajya Sabha. But if we see that Shiv Sena has already extended its support and they have voted for this bill in Lok Sabha, but now it would be interesting to see that what happens in Rajya Sabha, because we have been given to understand that the government has managed to get the enough numbers to pass this bill in Rajya Sabha also.
All right, Mayuresh, many thanks for those details. It will be important to keep a check on this development here, because this is a bill which is going to be taken up and discussed now in the Rajya Sabha tomorrow. There has been no respite from us, for us, as far as the rising onion prices are concerned. It has hit now in several areas up to 200 rupees per kg. With the continuous rise in prices here, the centre and the state governments have now announced a fresh set of measures. Whether or not this would be effective on ground, the coming week would help us understand, but the centre now says it has decided to further reduce the stock holding limit of retail traders from what was earlier 5 metric tons to now reduced to 2 metric tons. Also, the Consumer Affairs Ministry says it has directed state governments now to undertake the anti-hoarding operations with immediate effect. Let's look at what the Tamil Nadu state government now has assured. This is strict action against hoarders. Chief Minister says in an assurance that onion prices will come down. But even in this assurance, he says it would be only in 15 to 20 days.
ஒட்டுமொத்த இந்தியாவில் இருக்குது. தமிழ்நாட்டில் தனியாக சொல்ல வேண்டாங்க. இது மழை காலமாக இருக்கின்ற காரணத்தினால வெளி மாநிலத்திலிருந்து நமக்கு வெங்காயம் அதிகமாக வர வேண்டிய சூழ்நிலை இருக்குது. அதனால் தற்போது மழை கனமாக பெய்த காரணத்தினாலே அது விவசாயம் பாதிக்கப்பட்ட காரணத்தினால வரத்து குறைவாக இருந்த காரணத்தினாலே வெங்காய விலை உயர்ந்திருக்கின்றது. இன்னும் ஒரு 15-20 நாட்கள் சரியாகிவிடும். நம்ம தமிழகத்திலே ஒரு 20 நாட்கள் வெங்காய விளைச்சல் நன்றாக இருக்கின்றது. அந்த வெங்காயம் விலை இன்னும் ஒரு 20 நாட்கள் குறையும்.
Let's get in our correspondent Pramod with those inputs here. Pramod, what are the people on ground indicating? Does this really sound like an assurance if there is still a wait of about 20 days for the prices to come down?
Say the first time when we started actually tracking the onion price rise itself, vendors at that point made it very clear that this price is going to stay this way until the end of December. That is by October itself, because they knew that it's going to be rainy season. It's going to be very difficult to actually transport onions from various other states, which Tamil Nadu is heavily relying on. Chief Minister Edappadi K. Palaniswamy seems to be actually only reiterating that in a very different manner, because in another 20 days this month will be over and January begins, and CM also claims that there are new cultivation that is in both in Tamil Nadu and other states will actually be very good, and they can get proper onions under a very cheap price. But for now, the price has not diminished, and this is the kind of onions that Chennaiites are getting right now. Extremely difficult to see such kind of onions that have to be consumed, and you cannot actually pick these onions. You have to just simply take it and go. You cannot pick for the good ones. And if you take a closer look, this is the kind of onions people are eating for now. They have been consuming this for the past 1 month at least, and they have to go through this for at least 15 days as per the CM's words.
All right, Pramod, thanks for getting us those inputs here. Several customers, they're understanding that the concerned governments should step in with more immediate actions that are effective on ground. Now, here's the case in Vashi, which is close to Mumbai, but Vashi is important because most of the onions circulated and distributed in Mumbai come in from Vashi, the wholesale market there in Vashi. Onions there are selling for about 60 rupees per kilo. It is an average of 40% less than what the retail price is. But this is a relief which should have been transferred to the consumers in Mumbai. Not so. Consumers are still buying onions at 150 rupees per kg. Our correspondent Disha, who's been there since morning, getting us those details here. This is from the APMC market in Vashi. Disha, what justifies the difference in margin with respect to what the wholesale is and what the retail price is currently?
Well, clearly there's a huge gap between demand and supply, and that is the reason we are seeing such a huge difference in what the wholesale prices and the retail prices. For instance, these onions that you see, these are just the fresh, the new onions that have come in. These onions have come in from the state of Gujarat, and the next to it, these onions have come from Nagar district of Maharashtra. So this particular new supply has come in only after 2 weeks, and that is why we have seen the price reduction, especially here at the wholesale market. These particular onions are now being sold at 60 rupees per kilo. Last week itself, these onions were being sold above 100 rupees per kilo. So clearly there's a price reduction, and what the traders tell us is because of the supply that has been increased by over 70%, and they are expecting more onions to come in next week from Egypt, imported onions, which will further reduce the cost. And as far as the local vendors are concerned, why there is such a huge price rise as far as retail market is concerned, they say that this is just the beginning. Of course, today we have seen the price reduction at the wholesale market. It will take almost a week now for the retail markets to actually further bring down the prices as far as onion is concerned.
All right, Disha, many thanks for getting us those details. And with that, it is a wrap on the show. News and updates, though, continue for you right here. Stay on with us.